Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I've got a video that is going to be somewhat new to me. It's not very often where I get something that, as you can see here, is a pre-production sample. And as you can see, it says, for testing and review only, final product may have design and performance adjustments. So Wuben has sent me out a pre-production example of what is their X4 flashlight. And this was going to be black. It looks like right now there's currently two color combinations, black or I think it's just standard aluminum, no color. And as you see here, it's a pre-production sample. So I'm excited about it because these aren't out there yet. But the time you guys see this video, which is going to be the day after I film it, it's actually going to be dropping on GoFundMe.com. And for you guys who are new to GoFundMe, it's basically a platform where people who are attempting to find out if something works and gathers interest, or maybe even funding wise, if they need some funding to get behind a product. A lot of people go to GoFundMe because it allows you to get visibility of a product, get a lot of good feedback, get people interested, get them buying, and then the plus side for people who get involved is they get perks, and one of them is usually a lower price, especially for a first edition that comes out. We'll talk about more of that as we get in there, but let's take a look at this, guys. Let's see what's inside and see if it's worth your time. Alright, so real quick before we jump in there, you may recognize Wuben. I did a video just a week or two ago about this G5. This is also a product they sent out to me. It dropped last month, I think, and it's more of a small portable unit. We did a whole review on it, and overall, great unit. You'll find as we take a look at this one, things are going to be kind of similar between them, but on a different scale. So we'll go back and forth between the two and let you see. Alright, let's crack this thing open. Alright, here is your lovely foam padding. So this is so, not ready for production. They actually took it and cut this foam padding by hand. You'll see here you get a USB to USB-C charging cable. It actually has their name on it, which is kind of cool. And here's your foam tray. And here is the flashlight itself, guys. So we're gonna unpack everything that's going on here because there's a lot in this, and you'll see I've been using this for about a week now, probably about 2 weeks actually, closer to 2 weeks, and we're gonna dive in and figure what all is in this because this is a hefty beast. There's a lot going on, and you're gonna want to know a lot of the stats and what it does because it's pretty cool. Now, they're saying as far as package contents, I don't have everything that you guys are going to get when you guys order it. So you're going to get one of these. You're going to get the battery. So let's pop open here first. Let you guys see. This is the locking system here. So up is locked, down is unlocked. Once it's in that position, you could then push this button, which is then spring activates the release. And I like that these appear to be gold plated. I mean, they could be brass or, they don't quite look good. Maybe it's copper. But each of these contacts are actually high quality contacts. Now, as you pull this out, you get a Wuben 3400 milliamp battery, and then the size is going to be the 18650, and it's a 3.7 volt rechargeable lithium ion battery. So, nice battery. It goes inside there. Let you guys see. Kind of hard to see. Now, this is all going to be aluminum, and it's light. So there's your battery. And I like that too because, these batteries, they fail after a while, and if there's ever a problem, then you have to chuck, in some cases, if it's a proprietary battery, you've got to chuck the whole flashlight. And I don't even know what the battery is inside this. I don't know if this is proprietary or not, or if you could swap this battery out in here. There is access to it via some screws, but I don't know what that battery is. This one, as well, has the ability to unscrew and tear it apart. There's going to be hex bits all around. The point is if the battery goes bad, or you find a battery that has better capacity, you can always swap it out. Now, this locking system here, this is going to be, as you know with these reviews, I like to point out the things I like and I don't like. My concern here is that is very thin aluminum. Me personally, for how that's used, I would prefer that to be just a little bit thicker as it latches. But once it's latched, it's in there good. You can lock it down. It's not going anywhere. And it's also worth noting that because there is a waterproof rating for this as well. It's an IP68, but you'll notice that all along here is going to be like a rubber membrane that's going to help seal it up against this raised edge. So it's going to seal good for you. You're going to see the clip here. This is going to be... Now, if you carry your pocket, that means you're going to carry the light end up. I do like the clip. It does have a good amount of positive retention to it. So it's going to hold on tight. And it's kind of neat that it has these 2 screw down points that kind of converge into one piece. So it's neat. And yeah, it holds good in the pocket. So I didn't have any complaints there. I do have a slight complaint to Wuben on this, is I would prefer that this outcropping didn't exist. I prefer that this was smooth, because as you hold it in your hand this way, this is going to be the normal orientation. It does provide a little bit of a sharp edge in your hand and in your pocket too, having that there. I would prefer to have this inset. Maybe you put it right down through the middle or inwards a little bit more, but I do not like that it comes out that far there. That would be a small gripe. Now, as far as lumens, the main lumen out of the front is going to be 1500s. And it's got 4 automotive grade 2016 LEDs. Now, it's interesting how they have them displayed here too, because they have all different patterns. This one's got a concave feel to it. You can definitely feel the bumps to it. This is going to help disperse and evenly. These are going to be smaller ones as far as their beam pattern, and this one's going to be a little bit larger. Now, I'm no specialist in beam patterns, but when you use this, it's actually interesting in how well it does shooting the beam, but also giving you some spread. So a little bit of spot, but I would say probably a little bit more focused on the flood side to help give you that visibility, more so kind of closer. Now on the side here, and we'll get into each of these individually, these are going to be 6 400K, so these are going to be the 400K warm LEDs, so give you more of a natural yellow color. And then there'll be an RGB colored signal light. Now, as far as functionality, and here it is on the front, they're going to laser etch it. They do tell you it's hot up top. X4 is your product here. And then on the back side, talks about the battery, FCC compliance. There you go. This is going to be the magnet back that it has. So this hood here essentially has quite a few things going on. It has the ability to, like, say you're on your car, or say you're working electrical and you don't want to put on an electrical box, or what have you, your crawl space. This is going to hold pretty decently. I mean, it's a heavy light, but it's going to hold well. And I'll say, because of my gripe in my last video, this one doesn't do as well. This way it holds all right, but the second you turn this one sideways, it's gone. It doesn't hold. So Wuben did a good job with the power of the magnet in the backside of this. It holds plenty good. Now, here's a cool thing is this little button right here is a momentary on switch. You can hear it click. We'll go into how that works with each of these settings, which are located here. So the first setting at the bottom, that is going to be lockout mode. So anything you do push button wise, this is going to be the on button for all the rest of the lights right here. Nothing turns on, locked out. Great position. Next position up is going to be the side lights. So you could go ahead and push the on button here. And right now it's going to do your 6 4000K warm lights. And so as you can see here, it lights up. Well, the cool part is they basically have what functions like a rheostat. It basically has a stepless dimming wheel. So as you turn it, it progressively gets brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter until it blinks. Once it blinks, you've reached the maximum brightness. You go back the opposite direction. Same thing, blinks, that's at its lowest position. You can switch between these 6 warming lights versus the RGB light. So push it again and hold, and then it switches over to the RGB light. Now the color of this one, you may not be able to tell well, but it is yellow currently. And again, the stepping wheel allows you to seamlessly change between colors. So went to red, going to purple, blue, like an aqua color, green, like a greenish yellow, yellow, or orange, yellow, then red. Okay, so those are your colors you get to choose from. Now, you don't get to choose intensity. These are what they come at. And I believe the output for those are around 100 lumens. Now, once you're in this mode too, you're able to double click, and it turns it into a flashing strobe light. So it's in red, strobe, flashing. Press the button again, turns it off. press it and hold, back to red. Let's turn it, now it's in purple. Double click. Now you get a purple strobe flashing light. Click it again. So depending on whatever color you like, it's going to flash that color for you if you double press it. And if you press and hold, it's going to tell you your battery power. If it turns on a blue and stays blue, then that means you're going to have, I believe, over 90% battery power. If it's blue and it starts flashing, it's in between 90 and 40% power. And then if it's red, solid red, that's going to be 40 to 15. And then if it's blinking red, 15 to 0% power. So it's cool that you get to see what that progression is. It's not, I mean, it could be a little bit better fine-tuned, but just know that blue's good, red's bad when it comes to battery power. While in this mode too, if these lights are off, you can still use this momentary on switch and you get full power from the forward lights. So as you're just going, click, click, double click it, you'll get strobe, as you'll see here. It is a changing strobe. And when you double click here, as you see here, now it's changing between colors. Double click again, and it changes colors again. Double click again, changes colors. So as you double click, it'll keep going through those colors and changing them for you too. So if you have a preferred color, there you go. All right, so let's go to the next mode. That's going to be the main front light mode. And what that is just these four on the front that we talked about. You press it once, and it's on. Now, it remembers where the brightness was at, so we'll go ahead and turn this back down. But that's a nice feature. Wherever you last left it is where it's going to bring you back to. That's both the same for the front and for the side lights. Wherever you leave it is where it's going to remember where you left off. Now, again, here it is on low mode. As you see me turning it down counterclockwise, that's giving me the lowest output out the front. On the high end, it's going to be 1500. And in comparison to this Wuben, this one was 400 lumens. This is 1500. So substantially more light that's going to come out of this. And you can feel it too when it gets turned up. So we'll go ahead and turn it up here, let you guys see by turning it clockwise. And like I said, it's a seamless transition. You could control how fast that goes or how slow. And there you go, full maximum output of that light. A double tap takes you back to full power. Tap it to turn it off, turn it back on. Obviously we're back at full power, so turn it back down. But if you want to go back to full power, double tap, back to turbo, or they call it turbo mode. So full power there, and then turn it back down. And in that mode, the momentary switch doesn't work once you're already on and we're using it, but you can turn it back off and use the momentary switch in the back, and it goes to full power each time you do that. I don't believe you have the ability to turn down that power. Nope, it's always full power or turbo mode. And this is actually very warm to the touch right now. Now you can see I've been using it. It's getting a little bit of banged up on here. But it's going to give it a natural, I mean, in the recessed areas it'll stay black, but in the used areas it will turn to that nice natural aluminum finish once I wear this in. So if you have a preference between black, if you want something that doesn't show the wear as easy, I would say probably just get the silver version of this. But if you want the black accents, it'll probably have a little bit more of a patina kind of look and feel, then I'd go with this. But letting you guys just kind of see all of the pins. They have like some nice pressed pins inside there. Nice sizing. Access looks good. The top switch right here that you'll see, that is for night mode. They call this low brightness mode, but I'm going to go ahead and call it night mode because it's got a moon on there. And this one's going to be basically a locked out lumen for this one. So it's going to be minimal output. I think this one's actually 10 lumens is what it comes in. So very light on the lumens. This one's going to be for if you're at a campsite. So if you're with friends or family, you're not trying to wake people up either inside your tent or walking around the campsite, then you'll put on the low selection here. And you can see that it comes on, it stays on low, and it does not adjust from that setting. It stays there. So you have no worries about accidentally just waking everybody up in the process. It's bright enough. If you have your eyes adjusted to the night, then you're perfectly set with just this output. Now on the back, that's where the momentary button actually turns into a on-off switch too. So you could control either from there or from there the on and off with that momentary switch. I think that's pretty trick because it has the ability to both be a momentary on switch but also be a on-off switch for the night mode. And you'll notice here too, while in the night mode, you have the ability to plug in directly with your USB-C and charge, and you can operate this too while it's being plugged in and charging, so you don't miss out on using light if you need to in a jam. And then, according to some of the data I have here, the lights themselves can be used. I think it's on the front on the low nighttime use. You could go up to 720 hours of usage. But between all the other lights, you're looking at 70 hours, 350 hours, or 185 hours on the settings that you utilize. And it's still pretty compact enough for your pocket. I don't know if I want to go much bigger than this for my pocket, but as far as compactness and versatility, it does a great job. I think it's a great light, and it feels like quality and functions like it's quality. I mean, it's super bright, 1500 lumens, and yeah, I think it does a great job. All right, guys, so I got the Wuben G5 here, and you can see here on the low setting, this is what you're seeing, and as you slowly turn it up, you'll get up to your 400 lumens. So that's your 400 lumens that you're seeing there. So up next is the Wuben X4, and this is the new prototype that is out, and this is on the lowest light setting, as you can see. And then as we slowly turn it up, you get to your 1500 lumens. It does a really good job giving you some flood, but also some spot to reach out there as well. On this side is the X4, and then on your right is the G5. So much brighter output. Now if we turn them down to both of their dimmest settings, you can see them side by side. X4 still brighter. I'll also show the X4 side light. If you want to turn up those 4000K lights, this is what's going to allow you to see. Now, also note that my phone is going to be adjusting the light output so you guys can see this better, but it's not super bright. It's very much kind of dissipated. Then if we go to RGB, that's the blue light, purple, red, orange, green, purple. And then momentary turbo mode just lights everything up. And that covers all the items that are featured on this flashlight. It's super nice, a lot of options. I don't have pricing for just because they're dropping it, well, the same day you're going to see this. So I don't have that information just yet. But I'd say if you're interested, Kickstarter is a great place to support companies like this that are trying to push products that are maybe a little bit outside the norm, and it gives them a chance to get a product out and get some visibility and get support from the community. So if you guys are all about supporting flashlight manufacturers, yes, this product's made in China, and yes, Wuben is a Chinese company. But I would have to admit that they've done a really good job producing these products. So I would say I'm going to go ahead and put the link for you guys down below to the site because I think it's definitely worth finding out what this costs for you guys, because you're going to get the best price by jumping on and being a part of a Kickstarter program. And, you know, you get to support something that either may or may not even come to fruition. They may not make any more, and you'll have yourself a nice little collectible, unique flashlight in the making. And you'll always have a serviceable battery that you could change into it. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Leave your comments down below. Have you supported a Kickstarter program like this before? Do you like this flashlight? Does it do a good job fulfilling a need that you aren't currently seeing in the flashlight marketplace? And what are your overall thoughts? I want to hear them down below. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.